Have you ever had trouble sleeping? Maybe for 1 or 2 days? Maybe you hallucinate a couple of times, you feel like your body is failing? But what if it was for 7 days? Being awake for 7 days might be more fatal than you think. So let's go deeper in this topic. Let's begin. Most people think missing sleep just makes you tired, but the truth is far more unsettling. Sleep is not just a break or a recharge. It is an essential biological function that keeps your mind, body, and identity stable. Without sleep, the brain begins breaking down faster than almost any other physical process. Today, we're going to walk through exactly what happens to you, hour by hour, day by day, if you stop sleeping for a full 7 days. This is not a challenge. This is an experiment your body will violently reject. By the end, you'll see why sleep deprivation is considered a form of torture, why the brain collapses without rest, and why even short-term sleep loss affects almost every system inside you. Let's begin. The moment you decide to stay awake, your brain immediately enters stress mode. Day 1 without sleep feels familiar. Most people have stayed up too late or pushed through a long night. Over the first 24 hours, your body attempts to compensate by releasing adrenaline, cortisol, and glucose into your bloodstream. This gives you a temporary feeling of alertness. But beneath that surface energy, your brain is already struggling. Studies show that after just one night without sleep, your reaction time slows, your emotional responses become sharper and less controlled, and your ability to focus drops significantly. Your brain begins pulling resources from long-term memory to support short-term thinking, similar to rerouting electricity from one part of a failing building into another. You can still function, but not well. You're more irritable, more anxious, and more impulsive. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logic and reasoning, becomes sluggish. By the end of day 1, your brainwave patterns look remarkably similar to someone under the influence of alcohol. You are no longer a fully rational thinker. You are a sleep-deprived organism trying to hold itself together. Day 2 without sleep is where the real decline begins. Around the 36-hour mark, your core body temperature drops. Your coordination weakens. Your metabolism becomes unstable. Your blood pressure rises. Your ability to form new memories drops sharply. Most importantly, your brain begins falling into micro-sleep episodes. These are tiny bursts of sleep lasting 1 to 5 seconds. You don't control them. You don't even notice when they happen. Your brain simply shuts off the moment it can no longer cope. Even with your eyes open, you are unconscious in short, unpredictable bursts. This is the stage where driving becomes more dangerous than drunk driving. Your brain is literally turning itself off while you remain standing, walking, or sitting. Your senses also begin to distort. Your vision becomes less stable. Hearing becomes blurred as the brain struggles to process information. You become unusually emotional or numb, depending on your personality. Your stress hormones stay high, raising your blood sugar and weakening your immune system. By the end of day 2, your cognitive decline is undeniable. Your brain is running low on mental fuel, and it's beginning to cannibalize its own efficiency to stay online. Day 3 changes everything. Once you pass the 72-hour mark, your brain starts malfunctioning in unpredictable ways. This is when most people begin experiencing anxiety spikes, irrational anger, paranoia, or crying for no reason. The emotional centers of your brain are now overriding your rational centers. Simple tasks become complicated. Your speech becomes slower and less coherent. Your memory formation nearly shuts down. Most universities and workplaces consider someone awake for 72 hours to be mentally unfit to make decisions. Your immune system is also collapsing. You become more vulnerable to infections because your body can no longer produce normal levels of immune cells. Your brain waves now show patterns similar to those seen in psychiatric patients with severe disorders. The line between imagination and reality starts thinning. Many people at this stage see small shadows moving at the edge of their vision, or hear faint sounds that aren't real. These are early hypnagogic hallucinations, your brain trying to dream while you remain awake. You are now mentally impaired on every measurable level. By day 4, reality becomes unstable. 4 days without sleep is extremely rare outside controlled experiments or extreme situations. At this point, your brain begins slipping into dreamlike hallucinations even when your eyes are fully open. You might see shapes moving, hear voices that aren't there, or feel touches or sensations that are imaginary. Your cognitive functioning is so damaged that you become unable to track time or maintain logical thought. Some people describe it as living in a fog. Others describe it as a waking dream. Your visual cortex begins firing randomly, generating images your mind tries to interpret. The boundaries of reality break down. Your sense of identity becomes weaker. You may forget why you're awake, what you were doing a moment ago, or where you are. You begin losing the ability to judge consequences or danger. Your body is also deteriorating. Stress hormones stay permanently elevated. Your heart works harder to compensate. Your digestion slows dramatically. Your emotional regulation collapses. You may laugh uncontrollably, feel depressed, or panic without reason. Your brain is now operating in survival mode alone. By day 5, you are no longer functioning as a stable human being. Your cognitive abilities resemble those of someone under heavy anesthesia. Thinking becomes slow, fragmented, and distorted. You may forget basic facts such as your age, location, or daily routines. Many people entering the 5th day without sleep show signs of temporary psychosis, delusions, paranoia, or complete disconnection from reality. Hallucinations become longer and more immersive. These are not small flashes, they feel real. You may see people, hear full conversations, or experience events you cannot distinguish from real life. Your body also reaches a breaking point. Your muscles weaken, your reflexes fail, your metabolism becomes erratic, your immune function is so low that even mild bacteria could make you sick. Your brain has one mission now: force you to sleep at any cost. Day 6 without sleep pushes you into dangerous neurological territory. At this point, your brain is no longer able to organize thoughts properly. Your neurons are misfiring. Your brain begins entering REM-like states randomly, mixing waking and dreaming in unpredictable ways. You lose the ability to understand your environment fully. You could forget where you are or what you were doing mid-action. A few people at this stage begin to experience dissociation, the feeling that you are floating outside your body or observing your life from far away. Your body is shutting down non-essential functions. Your hormone levels are imbalanced, your organs are overstressed, your metabolic processes are irregular. Staying awake becomes nearly impossible. Most people collapse into involuntary sleep long before this stage. By day 7, your brain is severely impaired. It is almost impossible to stay awake because your body will force itself into unconsciousness through microsleeps or complete collapse. If you do remain awake, your hallucinations become vivid and immersive. Your speech becomes slurred. Your thoughts become slow and disconnected. You may lose the ability to form clear sentences. Your sense of identity becomes fragmented. Your ability to judge danger or consequences is nearly gone. 7 days without sleep pushes the human body to its biological limit. There are documented cases of people staying awake longer, but only in highly controlled environments. And even then, the psychological damage can last long after recovery. Sleep is not rest, it is repair. It cleans your brain through a process called glymphatic drainage, removing toxins that build up during wakefulness. It restores your immune system, repairs cells, balances hormones, stabilizes memory, and maintains your sense of reality. Without sleep, your brain begins to poison itself. Thought becomes unstable. Emotion becomes unpredictable. Reality becomes distorted, and identity becomes fragile. As soon as you finally fall asleep, your body enters emergency restoration. The first few hours are extremely deep, as your brain attempts to repair neural damage and stabilize chemical imbalances. But the recovery is slow. After 7 days without sleep, it can take over a week to return to normal cognitive function. Mood swings, concentration problems, and memory issues may linger. In extreme cases, long-term neurological damage can occur. Sleep deprivation is not something to challenge or test. It is one of the fastest ways to damage your mind and body. By understanding how vital sleep is, we appreciate how delicate our consciousness truly is. Sleep is not a luxury, it is a form of survival. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the science of sleep and the hidden consequences of deprivation, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode from Explainified. Thanks for watching, and remember, take care of your mind by giving it the rest it needs. Now go and take a flipping nap.